Hello everybody, what is going on? It is Slayer Investing, and today I'm going to be talking about CCIV and where I see it going in the future. So currently it is February 18th, which is a Thursday, one more day from Friday, so we'll see what happens. The merger still could be announced today. We don't have any official news yet as of about 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, but I will keep you guys updated on the Twitter, which make sure to go ahead and follow right here. The link will be down in the description. But anyways guys, I just kind of wanted to talk about today where I really see CCIV in the long term more, instead of the short term, because as of right now, you guys, we see it's trading at about $57 still. Just absolutely insane. So anyway, I really kind of wanted to try to bring a more realistic viewpoint here and where we can actually see CCIV in the coming weeks, coming months, and then eventually the coming years. So first off, we have to remember why we got into CCIV in the first place, right? We love their cars, we know what they look like, we know the specs, we know the technology, right? We know that everything that we've seen so far points to this being a successful, good brand, and they're going to be delivering cars in a few months now. Which is going to be another catalyst. And then we have the Saudi Arabian factory, which is supposed to be built. There's another catalyst, which would just bring in a huge new market, because there's not really a whole lot of presence in the Middle East right now, but there would definitely be a strong support for that luxury new kind of car, you know, that people haven't really seen over there yet. So that would be a huge new market for them to capitalize on, right? And so we basically have to look at Lucid with a long-term lens here and see, you know, because everyone's focused on the market cap right now, right? Because we have the offering, which in the Reuters article said it was going to be at 12 billion. We had the Bloomberg terminal a little before that, they said 15 billion, so we don't really know where it's going to land. Obviously the lower valuation is mean our shares are going to be worth more, but we have to see where that goes. We have to see what the financials are with the pipe that's supposed to be between $1 to $1.5 billion, and so this is going to be a huge deal, worth in the end probably close to 4 billion. And that's going to be a lot of money for Lucid. They're going to be able to ramp up their production. Hopefully they're going to put that maybe towards a new factory. They're going to put it towards expanding their current one in Arizona, which, by the way, Lucid is one of the few newer EV companies that own their own factory. And so all these are really good positive signs for Lucid in the long term. And so right now we are kind of in, it seems like a very speculative play for a lot of people, but at the same time, there's a large portion of the shareholders in CCIV that once this merger's announced, they're buying Lucid, they're keeping for years, right? We know a lot of people have a lot of faith in this company, and so at the same time, while everyone's worried about the speculative play, about the bubble, about the pop, I'm not sure how much of that we'll actually see with how strong of fundamentals that Lucid has shown. And so if it's trading at $57 a share right now, let's say we get the you know, the merger announcement, right, and then it runs up a little bit, and then we have that massive sell-off, right, which will come eventually as people take profits. How far down do we really go? I don't really see this dropping below $45 right now, or $40 at that point, because since, I mean, let's even zoom out. Let's go back. Let's go to a day chart here, right? I mean, this thing is this thing is straight up right now, right? So really, and with the Saudi Arabia factory, with the specs on the car, with them delivering later this year, the big thing with CCIV and with Lucid Motors stock in the long-term play is how fast can they ramp up production, right? Because we know when they start selling cars, they're going to start bringing in profit, and that's when this stock can really hit new heights, right? Because this $56 price isn't what Lucid Motors is worth right now, right? This is the hope and the hype that Lucid Motors eventually will be a great company, and that's what you're investing in right now, right? And so people always ask, is it a good time to buy at $20? Is it a good time to buy at 30, at 40, at 50, at 60, at 70? And that's what they said with Tesla, right? And we're comparing it to Tesla, but at the same time, that's kind of a dangerous mindset to box yourself in, because Tesla obviously exploded, right? But that's not what we might not see here. With CCIV and with Lucid, we might see a more steady gain over time, and that might be even better, right? Because Tesla's, according to the financials, is way overvalued right now, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes in the future, because I think Tesla will eventually become as hyped as it is, but Tesla is extremely overvalued right now. Lucid is extremely overvalued, but that's all on the hope that electric vehicles will become the future within the next decade. And if that is the case, we're going to see this stock and Tesla go absolutely crazy, because if you know, the government backs up EVs, we start you know, switching out our federal cars for electric vehicles. If we get if Lucid can start expanding into the Middle East, they're doing Europe deliveries later in 2021, and if they can get the funding to push production faster, because I believe the 400,000 vehicle a year mark is supposed to be 2026, right? Which is only 5 years away. I think this is a great long-term play. For the short term, trying to play this, it's really risky right now. I'm holding until the merger announcement, and I'm going to see what happens, right? I'm probably going to sell off some of my position if we get above that like 65, closer to $70 mark. I'll probably sell what my original investment was, but I'm going to keep a majority of my holdings in this company because I really do see them in the long term doing very, very well. And we might see it run up to $60-$70 and then crash all the way back down to $45-$50, but I think that's getting bought up. Personally, you have to see things from the wider lens, try to look into the future, get into the mindset of how people are feeling about this stock. And most people right now are investing in this company because they think it can make them a quick buck instead of the actual fundamentals and the future of the company. Don't get me wrong, there is still a large portion that is investing for the long-term play. So I think we're going to see the stock run up, pull back big time, and then once that pullback hits, once we hit that bottom, once we start getting some consolidation at a good point, this thing is just going to be a straight nice line, a great chart looking up, and I think by the end of the year, if Lucid fulfills on its promises and we start getting deliveries and it starts delivering cars and expanding on the factory and maybe opening one up in Saudi Arabia, this thing can easily be above $80 at the end of the year, maybe even more. It really depends. I'm trying to keep a realistic mindset here and not just be the perma bull, right? Because we have to look at you know, the 2022 midterms. There might be a change in Congress that could change policy. There's a lot of things that could happen that will affect electric vehicles in the future that we have to take into consideration. But in terms of a like 5-year plus play, I think CCIV is great right now. I think it would still be a buy if that's your goal. But as of right now, it's a bit too expensive, I think, to get in if you're going for the short term make a buck play. I think that those times have passed now. And so it's really just up to the people holding and the announcement and what the financials really look like. That's going to be the destiny for this stock, guys. So that's where I kind of see it going in the future. As of right now, we got to see today and tomorrow. This stock keeps surprising. We got to see if it still has some gas left in the tank or if it's going to cool off a bit. Even seeing it consolidate here today, just in this range, even if it stayed flat today, I think that'd be a great sign. FOMO Friday kicks in maybe a bit tomorrow and we see this thing push past 60, and then we can get a merger announcement next Monday or Sunday. That would be absolutely amazing, and I think that would be one of the best case scenarios. So yeah, guys, make sure to go ahead and follow the Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel to stay up to date. So we'll have to see what happens with CCIV today, guys. It's an exciting time. I'm not selling quite yet. It's getting pretty close, but I want to see this play out a bit more, and I still think this has room to run and room to go. It just depends on if we're going to let it run before the profit taking comes in, because every time we've seen CCIV run up, it immediately, I watch the stock a lot, guys, and immediately when it goes up, there's always that profit taking that takes place. We see it in the after hours almost every day, big sell-offs in the after hours almost every single day. So it really depends here. We just have to see what they announce, what Lucid does, what CCIV does, guys. But it's an exciting time for CCIV investors, I think, guys. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up today. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe, guys. Like the video, follow the Twitter, and I will see you guys next time.